Hi, everybody.
I don't have a...
No, you don't. I'm Chris. Miriam will be joining us in just a second. I had to hook up her microphone. Anyway, I'm Chris. I'm one of the co-founders, president, and the technical guy behind Keto Chow. If you're brand new to Keto Chow, it's a nutritionally complete meal that makes keto super easy. We also have some great electrolyte supplements that are amazing for everyday use and for keeping the dreaded keto flu away. We're a little bit late because we just got back from a orchestra concert. So, and I ran up the stairs. So let's see, let's say hi to people. Bum, bum, bum. Janelle's here. She said, we had such a cold day. I had chocolate keto chow, hot, fantastic cocoa. Nice. That's a good thing to do on a cold day. Let's see, Meg says, I let my mom know, Chris. Oh, because it was normally scheduled for 9:15 p.m. Eastern, and I changed it to 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So not technical difficulties, we're just, we had an orchestra concert. Let's see, Dennis said, I'm hoping for an update announcement of new things in the work. Well, we've got some stuff to talk about. Let's see, Carrie says, I wouldn't wait if it wasn't worth it. Gotta see the Bears. Teresa is here. Yeah, thought you were late. Yep. And we're reconnected. Great. I think it's because someone just turned on a video because we just got home and they're like, oh, I'm going to watch something. Anyway.
I told them we were going to do our live stream.
I know. Well, Keto Simple is here. He pointed out that Chris Cooking Nashville wasn't doing a live stream and he isn't doing a live stream. So
oh, wow. This is the only live stream
it's
today.
Just
and
us
it's super
and
late.
We're 30 minutes late.
Sorry, guys.
Steph says it's a birthday. Where did it say that?
It's a birthday.
Where did it say Steph had a birthday?
Happiest of birthday, Steph.
I didn't see that.
No, you can see Dustin says
I see Dustin saying that, but I don't see Steph saying it.
Scroll up.
I did scroll up and I didn't see it. Patsy is here.
Hi, Patsy.
So I'm not sure where there was a Steph that said that was here. Anyway, Exposing Darkness is here.
Stephanie, tell if it's your birthday.
Yeah. Let's see. Dennis, is here. Carrie says, being in California puts this at just the right time.
Yeah.
But Dustin likes the butterscotch Keto Chow.
Nice.
Hot.
This is my salty.
Okay. Marie was going to batch prep some maple waffles for breakfast sandwiches.
Ooh.
But I ran out of spoons.
Aw, man.
Man. Ran out of spoons. Like you. A lot of times when people are talking about having the motivation and the ability to do something, they use spoons as an illustration because it's like
that's what we do.
You have so many spoons in your hand. When you're out of spoons, you are out of spoons.
The day is over.
So to communicate that to people when you're having a hard time doing anything else, you can talk about running out of spoons. So I thought you meant literal spoons. I'm like, wow. Meg just had pizza guts for dinner.
Yummy.
Papa Murphy's does a crustless pizza. They put all the toppings in a baking dish. We tried to get Blaze Pizza to do that because they discontinued their keto crust.
Sorry, because it didn't sell as well. I get it.
They have a cauliflower crust.
Which is like 11 carbs or
No,
something.
it was 28.
Oh, wow.
So don't try to get the cauliflower crust at Blaze Pizza, and they cannot make any sort of accommodation like Papa Murphy can do.
Yeah, we should have just gone to Papa Murphy. Oh, we didn't have that.
That's take and bake.
We should have just not had a pizza.
Yeah. Well, somebody had a hankering for pizza.
You're in New York. You gotta have New York pizza.
Rita's going to be watching on the TV,
we didn't get any
not
pizza.
in the chat.
It was so depressing.
Bum, bum, bum. Oh, it's Exposing Darkness? Is that Steph's name? I mean, Exposing Darkness's name?
Yeah.
Well, let's just do it. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Steph. Happy birthday to you. Let's see. Carrie says pecan sticky bun is awesome hot.
Yeah.
Let's see. Lori is here. And so is Evelyn. I don't know if I said hi already. Meg says we're echoing.
Oh.
Interesting.
Sorry.
Huh.
That happens sometimes. Well, maybe it was with the disconnect.
Yeah. Oh, it could have been.
No.
Bubble says braces off.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You know, this top one is red. And so it kind of matches my gums a little bit.
Okay. Oh, Meg says the echoing went away when they closed and opened it up again.
Oh, perfect. Great.
All right. Stina's here.
I will get my
Bubble
braces
says,
off
spoon
pretty
theory.
soon. Pretty soon.
Back in my pain days. It helps so much just hearing how to explain it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of pain,
Spoon man.
there's a really good Kurzgesagt in a nutshell
Kurzgesagt.
video. Today they talk about why, oh, it just went out of my head. Synthetic opioid that is tearing through the nation, that's killing people. It's not heroin, it's, you guys know what I'm talking about? No, oh, dang it. Anyway, what is that called? It just went out of my head. Anyway, there's a synthetic opioid that is, anyway, starts with an E. Oh my gosh. Anyway, they talk about how bad it is.
Well,
and how
if
it's just
an opioid,
absolutely
it's
terrible.
probably bad.
Well, know that it's even worse than
Okay.
heroin. Anyway,
So if you
fentanyl.
want,
That doesn't start with an E. What am I talking
it
about?
has an E in it.
It does have an E in it.
Good job.
Anyway, they talk about how it's garbage, absolute garbage.
Oh,
it is
man.
it is specifically designed to just be great for drug companies and drug dealers.
Oh,
Anyway,
sad.
really, really interesting video.
If you want to watch a video about drugs,
They
Chris
do
has
it.
a
They do a
recommendation.
really good job of explaining the problem.
We really like that channel,
Yeah.
actually.
Okay, we have a couple questions we wanted to answer tonight.
I moved
Number
the cup out of the
one:
way.
do loyalty reward points expire, Miriam?
Yes, they do. 6 months after you get them,
Mm-hmm.
but the system uses your oldest ones first,
Yes.
and you can reach out to customer service anytime, and they can tell you
Yeah,
when
they
they
can.
expire.
They can actually give you a little table that says, "This is how much you had. This is when you got it. This is how much you had. This is when you got it. This is your total." Now the problem is, the company that we're using for the rewards program does not make that information available in a customer-facing interface.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb.
It's only available to administrators, which is dumb. We have no way of changing that. It's completely out of our hands.
Yep.
We
But
would
we'll
like to
tell
change
you.
it. Yeah. Our customer service will give that to you, the information. Now, every time you earn reward points, you should be getting an email.
Yes.
And a couple of people, there was a question about this in the Facebook group, and I said, well, you're supposed to be getting an email. And there were a couple of people that were unsubscribed to getting the emails.
Okay, yeah.
And some other people, I think it was in their spam folder, because I sent one to me as a
Oh,
test.
it went to your spam folder.
And it did go into my spam folder.
Shoot.
So, in the description of this video, there's a string that you can search. It's like in:all, which means, hey, I want you to search everything, even spam, even archived, and then mail.rise-ai.com. And you can just copy and paste it without the quotes, and that will find absolutely every email you've ever gotten from them. So even if it's in your spam folder, it'll still show up.
Okay. Saying, use your Keto Chow rewards so
Yep.
you won't run out.
I think we just got some buffering.
Oh, sad.
Rush says, Kurzgesagt, absolute expert at sounding like they know what they're talking about. And often they simply do not.
Oh, there we go.
Veritasium. Sometimes, yeah, they did do one about meat. It was interesting.
Right. Well, they did one about worms that I thought was really interesting too.
Yeah. Okay. Bob had a question about someone that isn't keto adaptive
Okay.
and whether they can use Keto Chow while recovering from dental surgery. Would that be okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's just protein, vitamins, minerals, nutrients. People who have dental surgery or people who aren't keto need those things too.
Well, and for that matter, we have a bunch of children, in case you didn't know, that use Keto Chow. Like I made 18 Keto Chow on Sunday, so that our children who can't be bothered to make anything else will have food.
Sounds like enabling to me.
It kind of does sound like enabling. You're not wrong. But hey, so goes life, right?
So, Rush, to your point about Kurzgesagt, whatever, however you say that, That just shows that anyone can put anything on the internet and
true.
you can decide to believe it or not.
Yeah.
Just like us.
Okay. Miriam.
Yeah. Let me read it.
Okay.
Wah, wah. So, did you notice the SALTT Prototype 3-pack?
What is it?
We're not really advertising it, but
No.
in the checkout, if you would like, we are doing a prototype program for SALTT Electrolyte drink mix. And when you go to checkout, you have to make a purchase.
So-
You can also purchase them, possibly if they're not all out yet. We didn't actually check before we came to this.
That is true. So let's add anything to the cart.
Okay.
And you'll notice down here in the you may also like. Mm-hmm. But I'm just going to go straight to checkout.
Because it'll pop up right there at the bottom.
And
at the
right
top.
there.
Yep.
Add to cart.
If you want to try it, please give us some feedback on what you think about the flavor, what you don't like, because we are going to be testing some of these things, and not everything will make the cut. So
Yeah.
if you would like to try it, we would like your feedback.
Dustin says, I didn't know we could talk about these. Well, it's on the website.
Yeah,
So,
well,
Now here's, I did post that it's there with screen captures from the website. We're not talking about what flavors are being tested.
right.
And the way that it works is you get these little things. I'm going to cover it up with my finger so that nobody can scan it. And there's a barcode that you can scan.
QR code, yeah.
A QR code. And it will take you to a page where you can leave feedback about the thing
And
that
it
we're
also,
testing.
on the page, it tells you what flavor it is.
It tells you what flavor it is. It tells you what the ingredients are. Because we're trying to test some stuff out to see what stuff's going to work better. The simple fact of the matter is, I want to come up with new flavors of salty for 2026. And we have so many great ideas.
We just need to narrow it down.
There's no way we can release all of the flavors of salty that we have ideas for. Like, we want to try things, we want to try a bunch of random stuff. And so this is a way that we can test stuff out without doing a full run. And we talked to the company that does beef stroganoff salty, Rush. We talked to the company that does the packaging for it, and we're like, hey, we have this idea of doing very short runs. Because normally for instance, blue slushies, when we wanted to come out with blue slushies, we had to order like 250,000 of them. Like, just straight up. Not quite so many of these.
Yeah, which the reason why we weren't talking about it is because we don't have very many. So it's not
Yes.
like it's going to run for a long time. We don't know how long we'll have them. We may have them 1 month and not for 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
So I don't want anyone to feel bad that they didn't get the opportunity, because it's just going to be there, maybe or maybe not.
So
that's why we weren't really talking.
If you go to the page and it's not available, that means we no longer have a prototype to test.
Yep. But if it happens to be in the checkout and says, hey, this is available, that's the time you can get it. So that's why we're letting you know.
Indeed. So anyhow, just so that you're aware, that's what it is. At the end of the Facebook post, I said, we don't talk about Bruno. Because like you can contact customer service and you're like, hey, I'm allergic to this thing.
And they can tell you.
They
if
can
it's
tell
in
you
there or
if
not.
it had the thing that we're currently testing. But we're also, the plan is, if there's something that people might be concerned about, like, I don't know, cinnamon or caffeine, or I was talking to someone who they can't have alpha GPC, which is a what's it called?
Nootropic?
Yeah, it's nootropic. It's a way to get. Dang it! It's I'm on one tonight. Anyway, it's a way to get. Dang it! It's completely escaping me. Anyway, if there's something that you might be concerned about, we'll generally put it on the thing so that you wouldn't order it. We also are going to be kind of randomly sending them out to people to get their specific feedback.
Yep. So if you see it, it's there. If it's not there, that's okay. Maybe in the next round you'll be able to participate. So that's what it is.
Dustin said, I sent my thoughts already.
Thank you.
And Exposing Darkness says, I know Dustin and Joe's flavor choice.
Ew.
Marie needs to take some time off of work to get to the warehouse to pick up her order.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Miriam.
Yeah.
Is insert discontinued Keto Chow flavor here coming back?
Right now, no.
So
Nothing's
for instance,
coming back.
Is peaches and cream coming back?
No.
What about the key lime pie?
No.
What about root beer?
No.
Which is sad.
I know we kind of have played with the idea of bringing them back, but we aren't right now, so.
Yeah, so for right now, it's like, this was asked on the Facebook support group, and a lot of people were putting out a bunch of good ideas for random flavors that you can kind of, like, ways that you can adapt the flavors that we currently have, like vanilla. Vanilla cream. If you want peaches and bleach, like Rush says, if you want peaches and cream, adding a peach flavor, like a skinny syrup, or like one-on-one flavors or Olive Nation,
just like to
the vanilla cream, works amazing.
So good.
I did see that OOO Flavors has some powdered flavors now.
Yeah.
Somebody else confirmed that they do in fact have maltodextrin in them, which is unfortunate.
And that's the thing about powders, and we've learned that with Keto Chow. So that's cool that we've taken, we've had this opportunity to be able to have this company and learn a lot about ingredients.
Indeed. Robin says, I'm quite embarrassed to admit this, but I finally had my first Keto Chow chocolate peanut butter. Oh man.
After
chocolate peanut butter is
kit
amazing.
in my cupboard for a year.
Well, fortunately, they last 5 years.
That just means you're cleaning out your cupboard. Good job.
Yep. Miriam is very practiced with her. No. Sonny just made 9 banana chows. That sounds good. We had banana last week.
Yeah.
I made strawberry cream.
Thank you.
I made chocolate.
Is that what I drank today?
Might be if it was pink.
It was pink?
Yeah.
I put in raspberry cheesecake.
They have the same. They have the same nutrition. Most of the non-chocolate flavors of Keto Chow have almost the exact same nutrition. Like
they really do.
It's a rounding error off. But yeah, that was strawberry cream. I also made chocolate mint and 2 batches of chocolate because the chocolate's delicious. You want something hot and delicious?
It is delicious.
Chocolate. Donna says coconut cream pie is spot on.
Oh
delicious.
Yeah, it's so good.
And Robin says, let's see, on a recent live, I remembered you said shelf life was tested up to 5 years.
Yep.
So I said, what the heck? I was apprehensive of protein type drinks. Well, there you go.
Yep. You got it. Did you like it? Robin, give us your feedback. Did you like it?
Said it was...
no, she didn't. She said it was in her cupboard for a year.
I thought she said that she had tried it. Hold on, I think I just dragged something. There we go. That was weird. I dragged something off the thing. Rushes, you guys are the non-maltodextrin miracle workers.
Thank you. Yes, we're working on it. It's so funny because ever since that, we're just testing everything that's under the sun.
Oh my gosh.
It has been eye-opening.
So someone in our office bought some of the liquid death dust.
Yeah. I tasted a tiny bit. It is not good.
It was not good. 8 grams of sugar. They're actually touting that as a murder your thirst. They're touting that as a does it have the? It doesn't have the.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't have it. The ingredients on the back. Yeah, that other one looked better than the ingredients.
I'm trying to find the ingredients.
It's got to be there. There. Oh yeah, you can read that.
Yeah, good luck with that.
That's the thing about having black packaging is it's so hard to read.
Anyway, it has sugar and cane sugar in it.
Yeah, so the first ingredient is cane sugar. The second ingredient is maltodextrin.
I didn't even bother testing this one for maltodextrin.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to. It says it right on the package.
Yeah, it was just so funny. Lori says, what is the latest Best By date so we can add 3 years to?
Oh, that's a good
I'm
question.
trying to remember. We used to Keto
When did we get the
Chow
testing done? Can you find the blog
By.
post?
I think it's if you have one earlier than 2025. If a package is produced prior to 2023.
2023.
So you can add 3 more years. So if it says anything earlier than 2023,
Then add
and
3 years to it.
and it jumps from 2023 to like 2027
Okay.
because that was right when we.
Oh, because so it changed. So there
Yeah.
wouldn't be 2024, 2025.
Yeah, there's no 2024, no
2026.
2025.
That makes sense.
Yep.
So it's gonna have to be a pretty old bag if
Yeah.
you need to do the math.
Oh, I
for
wasn't
it.
sharing. Here
Oh
I am.
well, there
Now
you
I'm
go.
sharing.
It's fine.
I think I wasn't sharing when I was trying to pull up the death dose stuff.
well,
Cindy says, "Can you
whatever.
put more cinnamon in Snickerdoodle?"
Heck
Absolutely,
yes.
you can.
I do that all the time.
We're not going to put it in there.
I love it.
Here's the funny thing about cinnamon and Snickerdoodle. Snickerdoodle is one of 2 flavors that were legally required to warn California users
Yes.
that it contains lead from the cinnamon.
Yes. And that it will probably kill you.
Well, that it's known in the state of California to potentially cause birth defects because of the amount of lead in the 1/4 gram.
Yeah.
That's
it's
about
so-
a 16th of a
so
teaspoon
little.
of cinnamon.
But explain about the 1/1000 things.
Proposition 65, it's the law in California. And if you sell products to California residents, you are required to let them know if your product contains any amount of lead above or equal to the amount that was shown to cause potential birth defects in animal tests divided by 1,000. So if you were to give them 1,000 times more than what's the limit, it could be problematic. But for whatever reason, I'm not going to go into it, California decided that 1,000th of the amount that causes problems
Which is like
has to be labeled.
anything. It's literally in the air to breathe. The air should be having a Prop 65.
My
honestly.
smoker pellets for our smoker.
If you walk
that
into
are-
any coffee shop,
Well, they're just made out of wood.
Yeah.
They're just made out of wood. Those have a Proposition 65
It's
warning.
funny.
So because of the cinnamon
yes.
in Snickerdoodle,
And since you're in California, Cindy,
we
we have to tell you.
put a warning on Keto Chow to let people know, hey, California residents, you've been warned. Again, I'm not going to go into whether or not it's...
Put more cinnamon in the Snickerdoodle.
Anyway.
It's yummy.
Bubble says, murder your endocrine system
And
with
you know
sugar.
what I really like to make with the Snickerdoodle is chaffles. So you do cheese. I like to do a bunch at a time. So I'll do 1 scoop of Keto Chow, 3 eggs, and a cup of mozzarella shredded cheese. And then I mix it all together and I put it into a waffle maker.
Okay.
And that's a chaffle. And they are so good.
Robin, talking about, finally tasting it, says specifically the chalky taste that's very prevalent in other
Yes,
protein powders.
yes.
We understand. I made it with butter. I know my land, so delish. Now I can't wait for the rest of the week so I can experiment. Looking forward to the French toast that
Woohoo!
2 Crazy Ketos talked about.
Oh, yeah. I know. I saw that. I want to do that too.
And for that, coming back to Liquid Death, yeah, their marketing is really good.
They've always had really good marketing.
That's their whole thing. They're just marketing. Anyway, Bubble says I might die from lead pipes and cinnamon from New Jersey alone.
Oh, Cindy's
Cindy's
in
in
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Sorry, I got mixed up with a different Cindy.
Yeah. Keto Simple says people don't have any idea what's really in it and people freak out about the warnings. The only... I said I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah, don't get into it.
I'm not going to get into it.
Don't. You already got into it.
Anyway,
Let's talk about what Bubbles is
but
saying.
Marie says I like to add extra cinnamon to Snickerdoodle.
I do too.
Makes it more like horchata. Okay, what does Bubble say?
My life choices are now in question. I always have chocolate and cinnamon together with lead pipes.
Don't chew on the lead pipes, okay?
This was the lead pipe in the
Yeah.
kitchen with the cinnamon.
But yeah, so the chocolate is actually the other one. The cocoa powder
Yep, it really
is
is
enough to trigger it. Anyway,
silly.
now speaking of Keto Chow, for a long time. Let's say you mixed up Keto Chow and discover it in the fridge a week later.
Oh,
Is it still good?
Is it still good? It depends on if you made it with heavy cream or not, and how good your heavy cream is. But I say it's good. We say it's good for up to 6 days.
Yeah, or usually we recommend making 6 days worth at a time if you're into that. Or now it all depends. A lot of people on the thread said, "Hey, taste it, see what it tastes like."
Smell it. If you smell it, you'll know for sure.
Yeah, and you pop it open. Maybe give the lid a lick.
Yeah.
You know, that little part that. Anyway, there you go. So, but a week typically it's probably going to be fine.
Yeah.
Keto Simple says, but what about the penguins? I don't know, man. Evelyn says, I put nutmeg in my eggnog, so do I. And anise in my vanilla cream to make black licorice.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That sounds amazing.
Marie says, cinnamon and a bit of cayenne pepper in the chocolate is divine.
Right.
I don't know if I've ever put cayenne pepper in the chocolate.
I don't think I have either.
We have a giant thing of cayenne pepper that you bought because we were making the pumpkin sausage soup, and it calls for that.
Oh, well, you know what?
We don't ever put that in because it makes it too spicy.
It makes it too spicy. Yeah. That's okay. We use red pepper for stuff sometimes.
Yep.
We just got to refill the little container.
Yep. Okay. Lou says, hi, everyone. Okay. The question came up. Now, last week we talked about how there weren't any changes when we went in the salty liquids.
Yeah.
When we went from the Keto Chow branding to the salty branding.
Yes.
Someone was comparing their old bottle of the Dr. Berry Keto Chow Daily Minerals to the new bottle of SALTT Minerals. And they're like, hey, the iodine is higher. It's actually twice as high. That change wasn't made when we made the switch from Keto Chow to salty. It was actually made about a year ago. But some people didn't notice until just now.
Yeah.
That was at the specific directive request
Of Dr.
Dr. Berry said, hey, he actually did a live stream interview.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was with. And I saw the interview. He called me right after it was done, and he's like, what would it take to increase the iodine?
You're like 10 months?
Because the entire discussion was about the iodine and the health benefits of iodine. And he's like,
yeah.
Can we increase it? And I said, yeah, we can set it to whatever amount you want. He's like, I'd like to double it. And so if you have a very old bottle, not very old, if you have a bottle that's more than a year old, it likely has, I think it's 300 micrograms, but I don't remember exactly.
So now it has 600 micrograms, but he doesn't remember
That's
exactly.
my...
You can look it up on the website.
It would take too long to look up.
Just look up the new one, and then you'll know to have it. So Keto Chow.
Bum, 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 ba-dum.
Electrolyte.
Oh, it's not going to come up. I don't want to look it up.
Oh, it's so hard.
Anyway, Murray really likes making hot chocolate. Mexican hot chocolate, yes.
Nice.
Dustin says Jackie's making a giant batch of pumpkin sausage soup for our
gosh.
Indie meetup on Saturday.
I freaking love it.
We could fly there.
Let's go.
We might have some in the freezer though.
No, we
Donna
don't.
points out if you
We don't
feed
have
birds,
them.
put cayenne pepper in there. My parents started putting mashed up jalapenos in the bird feed, and to keep the squirrel, this one particular squirrel out of it.
It decided
Apparently
it likes
it developed
jalapeno now.
a tolerance to it's like, that's okay, I'm gonna move on.
I like it. I'll still eat it.
Okay. Carl has a great question. Can I give the salty hydrate, which used to be called Keto Chow electrolyte drops, to my dog?
Yes.
A lot of people express concern about the potassium content.
Oh, then maybe just do the low K version.
Yeah, well, and I will say that we've given the low K, which is the fasting drops, and the daily minerals to our chickens.
Yeah, they love that.
What we did is we had two different water bowls. One had the electrolytes in it, and the other one didn't.
And
so
we
they
let
were
them
able to
self-select.
self-select. They did drink a lot more of the water with the electrolytes.
They
in
did.
It. So I don't know about dogs, though, unfortunately. I'm allergic to dogs. I'm allergic to cats. We visited with our friends from, well, they're actually from Florida, but we were in Indiana.
We visited
and they had their
in
big
Indiana.
giant
That was
dogs with them.
They're so cute.
They were just hanging out with me, those dogs. And I was just like, I hope
Don't sneeze.
I hope they don't think that I hate dogs. Because it's not that I don't hate. It's not that I hate dogs. It's that I'm so allergic to them.
Breathing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You don't hate dogs. You like breathing.
I like stuffed animals. Speaking of that, Meg says I had a cat in my lap and I dozed off. That's like holding a baby. It's like, I can't move. I can't move.
Okay, I'm glad we could put you to sleep. Chris puts me to sleep sometimes.
It's true. Sometimes I come up with really boring stuff.
Can you tell me something boring?
Speaking of, Deborah asked, not boring, just
not boring.
other stuff. Deborah asked, can anyone tell me how to incorporate Keto Chow with intermittent fasting?
Oh, yeah.
Is that something that you've done before, using Keto Chow with intermittent fasting?
I think it's just your meal. The nice thing about Keto Chow is it's not as
well, number
heavy,
one is it's just food. Number two, it's not as heavy on your stomach, and if your phone is over here.
I don't know why it's disconnected. It's right
I don't
next
know.
to it.
If you, and anyway, I've found that if you're doing like extended fasting, breaking a fast with Keto Chow actually works really well.
Yeah.
Now, when we're talking about intermittent fasting, most of the time where the technical term is time-restricted feeding. So, for instance, you eat dinner, you don't eat breakfast, you don't eat lunch, and then you eat a big dinner. And so
So then you fasted the day.
yeah, your feeding window is like
your
a
eating
2-hour or a 3-hour, maybe a 4-hour window. Or you eat dinner, you don't eat breakfast, you eat lunch. So now you've shrunk your window. We were actually talking to some people recently, and this guy was relating that he's like, I don't feel like eating breakfast in the morning. And everyone tells me I have to eat breakfast, and it's like, but I actually feel good if I like eat most of my meals together. And I was like, oh, you're doing time-restricted feeding.
Yeah.
He's like, what? I said, you probably heard it called intermittent fasting, and it's a good technique.
Yeah, it really
Our
is.
ancestors didn't eat every 4 hours, 8 hours. They ate when they could, but we're designed to be able to handle not eating.
Yeah. And that's why we go into ketosis in the first place, because there's no glucose left. So when there's no glucose left to use, what is the
Oxidative priority.
oxidative priority?
So number one is alcohol.
Alcohol. It'll use up alcohol first. Hopefully there's not a lot of that in your body.
Then ketones.
Ketones.
Glucose.
Protein.
Fat.
So that's why it takes a while.
That's the order it goes
And there's a reason your body does that. It's because your body is designed to hold that fat to keep you safe.
It can't store energy in any other medium.
And so it stores energy and fat so that when you are starving to death, you can access that and continue living. That's the point.
Yeah. Fun fact, when your body stores energy, its preferred storage method is 16 carbon atoms. I think it's called palmitic acid, but I could be wrong.
Oh, that
Anyway,
might be.
it is a saturated fat. Your body prefers saturated fat, just so you're aware. There's a really good presentation by Dr. Michael Eads.
Oh, so good. It was over my head,
Yeah.
but
it's
it was
like
really good.
Anyway, if you search for Eads, E-A-D-E-S, Breckenridge, you'll find it. It's like a new, he calls it like a new something for, come on.
Does he talk about CoQ10 too? No. I don't remember.
E-A-D-E-S.
He talks about a lot of very smart things.
A new hypothesis of obesity. This one right here.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Wow.
I will just copy it and put
It's
it into
super
the chat.
smart. It's a geeky.
He actually,
It's a geeky one.
he starts off, it's super geeky. Super geeky.
I just said that.
Well, I just wanted to really emphasize it because what he's trying to get to you to understand is that certain energy storage things work better for ketosis than others.
Right.
And he shows it using math and like how your body breaks
and
stuff
like
apart.
Little molecule.
It's really interesting.
And
Like you'll end up with a basic understanding of human metabolism and a little bit of the Krebs cycle after watching it. Anyway, it's really good. Marie says, I thought fat came before protein. Nope.
I think it's funny that how many years ago was that, and we're still thinking about that one talk. And Bickman's was the same.
Bickman, yeah, and again, so first alcohol gets burned before anything else. Ketones actually get burned before glucose, then protein. Fat is last.
Yep.
So Maria Emmerich has, I think, actually a book.
She has a lot of talks
where they talk about
oxidative priority
and the order in which your body uses up stuff. And a lot of it has to do with ability to store. Some of it has to do with potential damage from that. Alcohol will damage your cells. Glucose will damage your cells. But ketones kind of jump over everything else and get used up before the glucose. In case you're wondering, if you take ketone supplements, you will burn those ketones.
And be in ketosis.
You'll be in ketosis, but you won't be in a ketogenic state.
Right.
Which is not the same thing.
You won't be burning fat for fuel. You will be burning ketones, which are the ones that you just drank.
Now, if you have something going on with your brain, the cool thing is ketones will cross the blood-brain barrier.
So cool.
Your brain will say, those are mine, give them to me now. You can't have them, but your heart will say, no, I want some too. Anyway.
So you have to share, I guess.
Yeah, Dustin says low carb Breckenridge was way back. I think Carl and Richard were there. Yes. Back
Carl
in the
and
2
Richard
Keto
were there.
Dude times.
Yeah.
Joanna's here from Casa Grande.
Joanne.
Let's see. Oh, Visual Keto says, jumped over here from the Facebook page.
Jared.
Nice. Yeah. Let's see. Bubble says, I guess I never had breakfast and still got fat and also diabetic. Well, so we were talking about oxidative priority, right? Something that Amy Berger pointed out.
Oh, I love this one
It was
too.
actually a talk that we saw when we were in Toronto, Canada, strangely enough.
Oh, yeah.
She was talking about people who are trying to lose fat on a ketogenic diet. The fat that you're trying to lose is not from the sugar that you ate back on the standard American diet. It's from the fat that you ate while you were eating sugar. Because your body can't burn the fat until it gets the sugar out of the way.
And so because you had the sugar, you couldn't burn anything else.
Yeah, really interesting stuff.
But why don't you talk about, I know we're just talking about past conferences now. Will you talk about her suitcase talk?
Yeah, that was the same talk. Robin also wants to know, is there a private keto club and admission is only granted if you have chickens?
We actually don't have chickens anymore.
We used to have chickens, and I miss chickens. Chicken TV was one of my favorite
I don't
things
miss
to watch.
the poop on the porch. Because it doesn't even matter. They just poop on the porch a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the favorite place to go.
So Amy Berger was talking about your personal fat threshold.
Yes.
The amount of storage available that you have. And she likened it, and she actually had leveraged this this idea from someone else.
Yeah.
But basically, you'll have people who they don't get fat on the outside, but they get type 2 diabetes. And then you'll have people who just can get fat. They just increase in size, and they don't. They actually, people like that tend to have really good blood sugar control.
Because the fat doesn't grow around the organs.
Yeah. And so the analogy that she used was, if you have a suitcase, like your cells, and they have an ability to store clothes, or in this case, glucose. You put stuff into them, and eventually you start to run out of space. Insulin comes along and says, hey, I need you to take this glucose out of the bloodstream and put it somewhere because it can't be in the bloodstream. We can't just be walking around with clothes on our arm when we're going through the airport. We need to put it somewhere. Okay, so the signal comes, insulin, put it away. Put it away, put it away now. That's it.
Put it away.
Red Hot Chili Pepper song. Anyway, so, but you end up with a point where your suitcase just doesn't hold any more stuff. Your fat cells can get to the point where they just don't hold any more stuff on the subcutaneous, the below your skin
Which
fat
is
cells.
the fat that we can see.
Yeah, it's the
fat that's
the pokey
all
fat.
around.
Anyway,
the fat right here.
right there,
The fat
yeah.
right here.
And so you've got insulin saying we need to store this glucose. So you start to put stuff into places it's not supposed to be.
Like your purse.
Or under your hat, or in your liver, or surrounding your organs,
Or around your intestine.
or in your pancreas. And when you start storing fat, ectopic fat in your viscera,
It's called visceral fat.
that's where you start to have a lot of problems. So fat being stored in your liver is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease.
Yep.
Fat being stored inside of your tongue is snoring and sleep apnea.
Sleep apnea.
Fat being stored in your pancreas is
Diabetes.
you've got diabetic failure, where your body stops producing. It's basically late onset type 1 diabetes.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so, and the interesting thing is, so you've got this signal to just start storing stuff. You're putting clothes into places that you're not supposed to have it. You're putting fat into places you're not supposed to have it. That's why the visceral fat is really not a good thing.
Which is okay. Are you finished? Sorry.
Well, I'll say something. The takeaway from this is there are a lot of people, and at that point it starts spilling. You can't store anymore, and so people become insulin resistant. It's not so much that they're resistant to the insulin, but there's just nowhere to put stuff anymore.
And so the insulin is high, trying to fix it, but it doesn't have anywhere to put it, so it's continuing
glucose
to be
is
high,
high.
and your glucose is high, insulin is high, and that's when the problems
Now,
happen.
people who are dealing with type 2 diabetes will often find that if they can just get rid of some of the stuff that's stored in their purse, stuff that's stored in their hat, stuff that's stored in their liver and around their organs, just cutting out their carbs or maybe doing some fasting. Getting weight loss reduction surgery is often kind of a forced fasting. If they can eliminate that stuff, all of a sudden the insulin can store the stuff where it needs to go.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden they regain blood sugar control, even though they may not have lost a lot of
Within like a month is the thing. It's so cool. Our bodies are so cool because they store the stuff where you're not supposed to store it very last, and then they lose that first, which is why you don't see any difference in your weight at first, because you're getting rid of the visceral fat, right? Which is the most important thing to do to save your life. So our bodies are cool.
Bubble says I was able to take less insulin
Yeah.
since on Mounjaro with 2 peptides.
There you go.
That's really interesting. Our bodies are remarkable, and if we, it's not so much that that some of these interventions are magical. Doing a low carbohydrate diet isn't magical. Your body is magical.
Yeah.
You get the stuff out of the way that was causing you to be sick, and your body will just take care of it.
Without you doing anything. It's so cool. I mean, we're designed so well.
It's almost like our ancestors survived somehow.
And then we just live in prosperity. And so we can eat whatever we want, whenever we want, from whatever country we want. And we want to eat it because we're designed to want to eat things to keep us alive. And that's probably where the biggest problem is.
Speaking of prosperity, there's a great talk by Dr. Ben Bickman that he gave at BYU Education
The
Week.
Plagues of Prosperity.
Yes.
Is what it's called.
It is. The Plagues of Prosperity. So, well, that's all the stuff that we want to talk about. We started a little bit late today.
Today.
But Sam did really good at his orchestra concert.
He did. He's so cute.
They played Toccata and Fugue in D minor as a string orchestra.
So good.
They also played the song from the ending of Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes.
When it's kind of the montage and everything is happening.
Okay, well, let's ask these guys if they saw that 90s Army show.
Which 90s Army show?
The one that they also played another music
Oh.
from. The documentary.
The documentary about the Civil War by Ken Burns that came out in the 90s that used, they had that song, that iconic song. It was a farewell to Ashoka or a samurai or something like that. I'm trying to remember how.
With the A.
Yeah. It's like a kosha. Anyway. Yeah. Did you see?
But do you know what the show
Miriam,
called?
It was called The Civil War.
Oh, it was called The Civil War.
Yeah. It was a PBS documentary.
PBS Kids.
They showed it like every 6 months during the when they were trying to drum up money, the fundraising.
Yes.
And everybody saw it. It was like seeing Roots. Everybody saw it.
Right. Our kids have not seen that.
No. But yeah. It was a good documentary, The Civil War.
So then you say the Civil War, and I'm like, that sounds boring.
Yep. Donna wants to know,
lovely.
Are we doing any more Keto Chow meetups? We don't have any plans right now.
We're thinking about doing one.
We have one that
summer.
we're bandying around to see if it's going to work out or not.
We're not sure.
The problem is somebody wants to spend time with our children.
I also want to go camping. Oh, and
That is
playing
true.
things. I want to go camping.
Okay, well, we're going to go camping this weekend.
Yay.
Speaking of which, everybody have a good Memorial Day.
Yeah.
And we will see you next week.
Yep. Remember your people, and thank you for your service, all you veterans.
Indeed. All right, bye, guys.
Bye.